Alright, I'm going to show you what happens when you reel it backwards. It could be what you guys did on accident, and it don't take long and it gets jammed up really bad. And I don't know how hard it is to get it untangled once it gets like that. But it might be best to take it apart. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Mine's a little bit different put together than yours. I just have 2 screws there, and then I've got 2 screws there, and no pocket hole on the other side. So on yours, you're going to take out these 2, and then there's going to be a pocket hole that goes here, and I think I put 1 screw here. So let me take that off real quick. Alright, I got those 2 screws out, or 4 screws rather. This should just, I haven't taken mine apart in a long time. Should just, and then all this will just, that will slide out. It should be really as far as you need to do it. Get it untangled. I noticed my string's starting to fray too. So I may have to go to that tension system that I put on your machine. All this black stuff in here, I'd used ground up pencil lead for lubricant. I don't even know if that worked or not, but anyway. I'm not sure, hopefully you can see that. There's just 2 jam nuts on this one that keep this one in place. On yours, I made some, there's nuts that are pressed in here, and this just was a bushing to keep it from wearing. So don't worry about those. Let me grab a wrench. Alright, so this 7/16 wrenches, just jam nuts that hold it together. Yours may have different shims. I don't remember if I put a washer or a plastic spacer. Just wherever the shims are, make sure you get them back in the right place. This just slides in there like that. This is a tricky one here. The main thing about this one when you put it back in is you just want to make sure it spins freely. And it's got a little slack in it, not too terrible much. Alright, and where's my clamps? So, stand by. Alright, probably the easiest way is to actually clamp this gear down so it doesn't spin. And then you can take and just loosen this jam nut off. Okay, this nut has just a threaded insert, so just unscrew it off of there. Oops, I don't want that to happen. Alright, let's see if you can see that. So what you got is a threaded insert recessed around. You got a little bit of metal there so that that nut becomes like a jam nut on the inside of there. So from here you can actually take this out. Make sure if I have a spacer in here, make sure you get it too. You can take that out if you need to replace this for any reason from there. Seems like on the one I made for you, Seems like this nut stuck out a little further, and I didn't use a flat washer. Seems like I had a plastic shim there. Alright, so this is reassembly. Basically, you start with this guy, put whatever shim's there, and this one is a washer. Goes in that hole. And you take this guy, what I would call the drive gear, and you put the threaded part on the inside toward the handle, screw it on. Get this guy ready to go. The only part you want to do here, you don't want to over tighten this. So you want it loose enough to where it can spin freely once it's all tightened down. So once you got it somewhat loose, probably go ahead and clamp it down at that point. And then you can tighten that nut down. Anyway, hopefully this video won't be too terribly long. Try and get it as tight as you can without getting everything out of place. Make sure it still spins freely. That's the most important part. Like this one, I might have it a little too tight, really, which is a bummer. And then this piece slides in here. Just goes in the gear. Make sure it spins freely. And see, now I done forgot where this goes. That won't make sense. Oh, it's right here. That's right. These jam nuts hold that one in place. This one can be nice and loose. Just make sure it's nice and loose. And then tighten these two jam nuts together. So they won't go anywhere. And this guy, now that you got your tangle untangled, it'll just slide right back in into the gear. And this slides right back into place here. Hopefully that's it. Other than putting the screws back on. Yeah, I think the tension system that I use on yours is better, because this one's starting to fray too. Then you can go back up. There you go. There's that. Now whenever you put these screws back in on the ends, we'll try and make sure you go back into the same hole. That's kind of important. You can kind of wiggle it and get it started by hand. Make sure it's going in the same hole. You might not even want to use power tools to get these back in. I like to get them all before it started. before I go too far. I have a feeling this video is going to be like 15 minutes long. That's that. There we go. Now what you don't want to do, like I said in that other video, is force it, because this will come unscrewed. And when that does, then you got to break it all the way down where you can get a wrench in there. So I hope that was helpful. I still have the old string tensioner like I put on yours, and you see it's starting to fray. So I got to change mine out to that upgraded version. I got one more thing I wanted to show you, so stand by. So I got one of these same little wooden pegs that's in your cornhole board. I want to break it. Okay. Just to show you, which I'm sure it's common sense, but let's see, that's junk. Hang on. Focus, there you go. I'm sure this is common sense, but I'm just going to show it to you anyway. You probably already know. Just align the crack whenever you go to put this thing back together. Try and get it back in the same crack. And put glue in it. And it should be fine. Glue is actually stronger than wood. That's what they say anyway. So if you can, I'll even do it. Why not? I got some glue right here. A little glue on it. Get it realigned. Now with yours, if you can find a way to clamp it, that would be good. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I'm sure you already know that, but just in case. So I'm going to go edit this video. Hopefully you'll get it all the little kinks worked out. Really feel bad about it. So just keep in touch, and talk to you soon.